Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. For my second to last video of the year, I thought it would be fun to look back at some of the songs released throughout the months and share some of my thoughts on songs that I used to really enjoy but don't really like anymore. I feel like when you first start listening to new music, it's really easy to only focus on the positive aspects of it. However, as you keep listening to and replaying these songs, any of the flaws within it become a lot more apparent. All of the tracks that I'll be mentioning today do have really positive factors that made me enjoy them at some point. However, as time has given me the opportunity to notice all of the smaller details, or maybe the lack thereof, these songs did not age well. Obviously, my opinions on these songs won't be the same as everybody else, so if you enjoyed them, let me know in the comment section below, and maybe also let me know what songs you think aged poorly that were released this year. Thanks so much for watching, and let's get into the first song. Being my least favorite TWICE release of the year, I feel like Perfect World doesn't really know what it wants to be, with all of the transitions between each different section of the song feeling very clunky and unfinished. Don't get me wrong, I think Perfect World has a lot of really good aspects to it, but my problem with it is that all of these good factors don't seem to be tied together very smoothly. I mean, this song is very fast, and it stays fast throughout the entire thing, and just like TWICE this year with their constant releases, when you're listening to Perfect World, it never really feels like you get a break. Each section passes by way too quickly, and I feel like they could have slowed down not only the tempo of the music, but also the creative process behind making this song so that they could have fully fleshed out the transitions and made the entire track feel like one cohesive piece. Because instead of feeling like one complete song, Perfect World feels like a bunch of individual sections thrown together into a sort of hodgepodge kind of mixture. I think a really good example of this is the way the two different parts of the chorus seem to clash with each other. In the first half, you have this very powerful and punctuated melodic line, backed by these almost sinister sounding choir-like vocals to follow it up, and then immediately following it with almost no transition to help prepare the listener's ears. There's this high-tempo, spoken word, almost rap feeling second half of the chorus that doesn't make any sense with the first half because it feels like it came out of nowhere. The first half already feels like a completed chorus, and it's almost as if the composers and producers completed Perfect World and then realized that it wasn't as long as they wanted it to be. So they made this second half of the chorus in a couple of hours, threw it in, and didn't bother to clean up any of the finer details. I do understand why people do like it, and I liked it at first because it was very attention grabbing. However, the more I listened to it, the more I realized that it's a very messy track composition wise. And nowadays, I can tell that JYP was really rushing the creative process and sacrificing musical integrity in order to push out another comeback for TWICE as soon as possible. While initially the stellar vocals in Cinema had me hooked for at least a month or two, eventually I became hyper aware of how non-dynamic and repetitive the instrumental is, never truly building on itself in order to match the intensity of the vocals, and overall becoming a very stagnant release in my opinion, and dropping all the way from my favorite CIX title track all the way down to my least favorite. Regarding the instrumental, on first listen nothing seems to be inherently wrong with it. However, after just a couple of listens, one can realize just how stagnant and honestly sort of dull it is, with the main percussion line using the same rhythm of 1, 2, 1, 2 throughout the entire 3 minutes of runtime, and all of the other instrumental lines using basically the exact same samples and rhythms throughout the entire runtime as well. Once your ears get used to the really amazing vocals and aren't really blown away by them each time you listen to Cinema, it's easy to realize that there's not much else there to latch onto. I think at one point I made a video talking about why I like Cinema because they didn't have an unnecessary rap section. However, after 10 months, I kind of wish that they did put one in there just to add a little bit of diversity into it. I don't hate Cinema. I think it's a fine song that checks all of the boxes that it sought to fill out, and I will sit through it if it randomly comes on through my playlist. However, now that I know how all of the vocal melodies sound and go, there's nothing really for me to want to go back to, and it's just no longer a track that I want to go out of my way to listen to. Don't keep my love on the low low, keep my love on the low low. I did enjoy SM's attempt to give Ten and Young Young a low-tempo, lighthearted, lo-fi adjacent track, and Lolo was really shaping up to be one of the most replayable and easy to listen to songs of the year. The only gripe I have with it that instead makes it hard to get through and honestly irritating at times is the over-reliance on the same melody throughout such a large portion of the song. For a track that's under 3 minutes long, it uses the same melody that you hear in the first 15 seconds for over half of the runtime, or at least what seems like it, and instead of catchy, this melody becomes more frustrating than anything. And after just one listen, you become sort of frustrated with this same set of notes that plays throughout such a large percentage of this song. It especially doesn't help that they replay the chorus 4 times in this track that's under 3 minutes long, and there overall just seems to be a very apparent lack of inspiration by whoever wrote Lolo. There are certain parts of this song that I'm just totally in love with, such as the bridge, which is one of the best things I've ever heard this year, and I do think that the combination of Ten and Young was a really nice duo of vocal colors. However, for the most part, this song just did not do them justice at all, and where Lolo could have been a smash hit, it instead becomes one of the most forgettable tracks of the year.
Breaking down, I see.
What really frustrates me about Breaking Dawn is how when the Boyz release one of their best albums of all time with few to no skips, they choose the weakest track to be the title. I do understand why they chose Breaking Dawn. To be fair, I do think they really wanted to go for that sexy concept, and this track is the only one in the album that really fits what they wanted to do, and it absolutely did work at first. I mean, this is probably the best they've ever looked in a music video, and you do feel the impact of their intentions when that chorus drops, because, I mean, I don't really need to explain what I mean. Anyways, but once that initial shock factor does wear off, the way they're sort of moaning into the mic during the chorus is really off-putting. And especially if you're just listening to the audio and not watching the music video, it feels extremely awkward. And besides that, I actually don't have any major problems with the rest of the song. Every other part is actually really good, but the chorus does sort of ruin it for me. So what I'm trying to say is, if I want to watch the Boyz music video, Breaking Dawn is going to be one of my first picks. However, if I just want to listen to a song by them, it's definitely going to be one of the last ones I go for. It's pretty upsetting how Soojin's last full comeback with the group gave me probably my least favorite title by them, centering around these honestly sort of boring lyrics, especially in the chorus, and kind of having what I feel is Soyeon's worst rap verse in all of their titles. All in all, Hwa just feels sort of bland. There's nothing in it that we haven't seen done better in previous works by them, and it ends up sort of feeling like a watered down combination of both Lion and Han. There's nothing awful about it, but where I'm used to I.dle pushing their musical limits and constantly expanding their sound, Hwa feels like a step in the wrong direction, and especially being released in the first month of the year, Hwa is one of the last tracks that comes to mind when I think of K-pop in 2021. I still like it, but somebody said the chorus sounds like Dance Monkey, and now I can't get that out of my head anytime I try to listen to it. And that concludes this video. Again, I totally get it if you still like these songs. I mean, I enjoyed them at some point, so it'd be pretty hypocritical of me to say there's no way that these songs can still be enjoyable to you. But yeah, this was just a little bit of critical commentary from my part. Let me know in the comment section what you thought of all of my picks, and maybe let me know what songs you thought aged badly in 2021 in the comment section too. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, and if you want to support me, consider subscribing. I've got 2 more videos planned before next year starts, and they're already done. Actually, I'm just waiting for them to go up because I don't want to release them all on the same day. But oh yeah, if you want to see them now, I do have like my membership program where you can see them early because they're done, but you don't have to join if you don't want to. Sorry, I just thought I'd throw that out there. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and without further ado, I'll see you in the next video.